Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Jingle, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're talking about the Italian Gothic horror masterpiece, The Church. But before we get into that, please remember to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you're interested in more horror movie reviews and physical media reviews and unboxings and collectible unboxings, stay tuned. Now, The Church was released in 1989 in Italy, but it actually didn't come out until 1990 in the US. So I guess it could be considered either an 80s or a 90s film, however you look at it. I'm going to consider it a 90s film since it didn't come out until in the US until then. Now, this was directed by Michele Soavi, who is best known for Cemetery Man, Stage Fright, and so many other classics. And he's also starred in some of Dario Argento and Lamberto Bava's films. But he's slowly became probably my number one Italian horror director. Ever since I saw Cemetery Man, I've just dove down the rabbit hole of Italian horror even farther, and I've absolutely fallen in love with it. And this film was also produced by Dario Argento, who is best known for Suspiria and so many Italian classics. He's referred to as the god of Italian horror cinema. Now, this movie was originally conceived as Demons 3, and it actually was going to be directed by Lamberto Bava in the first place until he stepped away, and then Michele Soavi came aboard. Another thing that's really awesome about this film, guys, is it has Goblin involved in the score, and anything that Goblin touches just turns into magic. I absolutely love all their film scores. They kick so much ass. Now, this film is set in the Middle Ages, and it starts off with a group of Teutonic knights who are actually historically real. They were a Catholic military order and religious institution that fought in the Crusades and in Europe, and they basically would go around and protect like pilgrims and stuff. So the beginning of this movie, they're going to a village of peasants where they're believed to worship the devil, and they completely slaughter this whole village. Another really thing that's interesting to me is that Adolf Hitler and the Nazis actually used the Teutonic Knights in their propaganda during World War II, and they portrayed the Knights as a precursor to Nazi conquests, which is very, very interesting to me. So anyways, after they slaughter this whole village, they put them in this mass burial, and a church is built on top of them by an architect who dies along with it. And then we skip to the present day, and it's this beautiful Victorian era Gothic church, guys. It looks so amazing. It's honestly stunning, like one of the most beautiful churches I've seen in film. And the story starts in the present day with a new librarian coming to work for the church. His name's Evan, and he meets Lisa, who's an artist painting like portraits on the church, and they automatically have a connection, and there's a lot of like sexual relations from them or between them throughout the film. So when they start hanging out more, they end up going in the basement of the church, and they find this piece of parchment paper in the bottom of the cathedral, and it almost looks like some sort of architecture, and he digs deeper into it and ends up opening some sort of portal under the church, and it basically traps all the tourists inside of the church, and these like demonic beings begin to just harass the hell out of them. There's some really good practical effects in this movie, guys. I don't want to spoil everything for you, but I will show you one of my favorite practical effects in this film was this amazing Satan animatronic. It is breathtaking how good this thing is and the facial expressions it makes, and it's just so unsettling and creepy. I absolutely love this thing. I just could not get enough of this thing. I wish they would have showed it more in the movie. There's some amazing like Gothic imagery and atmosphere just throughout this movie, and like there's so many good practical effects. I just absolutely loved it. And there's also this bishop character who's this creepy old guy with big swollen bags under his eyes, and he's just so creepy looking, and his performance is super unsettling. Now, once everyone gets trapped inside of the church, it starts causing them to hallucinate. I don't want to go into detail on what happens to everyone, but there's some really cool kill scenes and like practical makeup effects and just people going absolutely insane inside this church. And one of the priests in this movie, he's actually one of Queen Amidala's officers in Star Wars Episode 1. You guys would definitely recognize him if you saw him, which was a nice touch for me. This movie has been put out on physical media previously, but I didn't find a lot of information on it. I know there was a Scorpion releasing Blu-ray, which has amazing artwork on it. That is also an iconic scene in the movie that just has to be seen to be believed. It was absolutely wild, guys. And then I was trying to see if this movie was ever released on VHS, and I never saw a US VHS release, but I found this really awesome Japanese VHS release. The artwork on that is super sick, and the back of it actually has some stills from the movie. And I forgot to mention at the beginning when the knights are slaying this village, there's a scene where, if you can see it like right there, there's a scene where they have like this lady like fucking like pulled between them like through her shoulders, and the effect is just absolutely insane. Like I have no idea how they did that. It looks so real. This is what the release itself looks like from Severin. It's actually very heavy. It has 3 discs in it. It's got a 4K, a Blu-ray with special features, and then it also has like a really nice booklet in it. But it also has this like amazing like raised lettering on it, and it's super shiny. But it says Dario Argento presents The Church, a Michelle Soavi film. And then on the back it says it will blow your mind. Plenty of gore, demon sex, and rad score. Everything you need for an awesome Italian party movie is present and accounted for. And that was from Bloody Disgusting. Like I said, this movie is absolutely amazing, guys. You got this other artwork on the front cover of the amazing cathedral. And then you've just got some more movie stills there on the back and stuff. I will go through special features with you guys. So it has a ton of brand new interviews with the director himself, Michelle Soavi, the producer, Dario Argento, a ton of the cast, including Dario Argento's daughter, and most of the cast, honestly. And we also get an interview with the special effects makeup artist, which was really interesting. I didn't get a chance to watch everything, but I always love watching like the director talk about the film and like the special effects person talking about how they did some of the effects and whatnot. But there was some really interesting information on the special features, especially in the director interview with Michelle Soavi. Now, they actually had a super difficult time finding a church that would let them film this movie there because of just all the demonic imagery, but they eventually found one in Budapest. And I think the only reason why the church agreed to it was because they needed some restoration so badly that like they basically just let them use their church so they could like clean it up for them and stuff. And Michelle Soavi also goes on to talk about how he got into horror movies, and he said that when he was 12 years old he wanted to go see A Bird with a Crystal Plumage so much, which is another Italian horror movie that I haven't seen. It's an absolute classic, I've heard, and I need to check that one out. But he said that you needed to be 14 years old to see it back then, and he put heels in his shoes to make him taller so then he could go to see the movie. And he's been fascinated with horror and Dario Argento ever since. Overall, guys, this is an absolutely banger release. I will never have to buy this movie again. I would love to get that Japanese VHS because the artwork is just so awesome, and I love collecting VHS. It's really cool to own a movie that you love on multiple formats. But that is all I got for you guys today. Take it easy. Peace.